Hello, everybody. So, I thought to share with you this little update. So, I'm investing a lot of time on understanding Earth energies. And being an intuitive, I'm very sensitive to different energetic signatures that I that I come across, that I feel, and then sometimes I have this sudden download of information where I share those kind of information with people, and and it helps me to move along with the currents of the collective consciousness. So, but being an intuitive, that's one part of me. But there is another part of me which is very scientific and very intellectual, and wants to read and wants to get to the rabbit hole of everything, and so my entire thrust is how do you bring spirituality into this 3D world. And so I found this new thing where this guy who is a geobiologist, and I have heard for this first time what geobiology is, and this guy has tracked Earth energies, which he calls ley lines, and now I'm sort of very firm that why and how do I get these messages, and how this collective consciousness work. So I have now the scientific proof that these abilities are not that so-called psychic abilities, but since we move along this energy grid, which is being imitated by Earth's core, and how the electric magnetic field of the solar system and of this Earth sort of interacts and creates those energetic signatures for us. And if people are more sensitive like me, and there are other people who are more sensitive, they can really sense what's happening. And now what I feel that you don't have to be an extrasensory to understand these phenomenon. And so I'm being fascinated by this new discovery, and I'm investing a lot of time, hours and hours, into to understanding these earth energies. And so just thought to share with you that. And one thing which I'm feeling is getting firmer and firmer, as because there are rush of thoughts in my head right now. So I began this journey of mine in 2009, and where I had this entire shift. And so if I start pointing out when I started, and it was in the summer of 2017, where I had this huge shift in mind, and the way, in the kind of pattern I was trapped in at my workplace. And I remember that day as well. But keeping the story short, that if you are someone who is getting sensitive, and who feels that you cannot handle your emotions, or you are getting too sensitive, that busy areas are affecting you, or some areas, or where you go, and if you find a lot of people and you cannot handle the kind of overwhelming experience, then I think you must be one who is sensitive to these energies. So no wonder that you are getting sensitive, and you are getting more emotional nowadays, or getting overwhelmed. So you shouldn't be worried about, because we are kind of entering into a time which is not normal, which is not ordinary. Because if I bring in astrology, so we are completing 12,000 years of cycle right now, and we are the evolution of Earth is also getting in place, and we are taking, as people are saying, evolutionary leap. And which means that this leap is also about the leap in people's consciousness. And no wonder that people's perception of reality will change, and they can add extra layers of consciousness and awareness, and they could sense, and they could see energies. So there are people around on Earth which can see in that way. They cannot see things in solid elements like a flower, like a sofa or anything else. But if you see from the quantum perspective, that things are basically fluid and they are energetic in their expressions. So, but what is fascinating is that now I have, because I've discovered it recently, that now I have a lot of scientific proof for that. And then people have sort of invested their many decades in understanding how these energetic lines affect places, especially sacred places, and how they are formed, how they contract, and how they expand, and which helps me to understand my own nature, that it's not kind of some extraterrestrial being, that that possesses a person or comes into a person's body. It's basically these energetic signatures which really helps you to sense the information. And amazingly, there are many prophecies, old prophecies, that I won't go into these details, but they have sort of kind of predicted those times where we are in right now. And this bracket is very important from 2020 to 2024 and 2025, where these transformation will happen. And after 2024 and 2025, I feel that there will be outbursts of information which humanity has to handle it, and there will be a lot of shifts in this process. But I hate to say it, but I really feel that people are thinking that 2021 and years in the future will be easier to navigate. But I don't think that way. And I feel that especially those people who are not into their own vocation, and they are not connected to the tribe, and that's my struggle too, they will be facing a lot of challenges, not only mentally, physically, emotionally. So I don't see things are getting in a good shape for those people. So I would highly urge you, as I'm investigating more and more into these energies, and I'm getting tuned into this, because this, for me, this is also new. Those who don't know me, but I think these are overwhelming time, and we need to learn to develop our muscles, not just physical muscles, but also emotional and muscles of our mind, so to navigate through these times which are very difficult. And difficulty will increase as I am sensing it. It's not that we'll find relief, but relief will come to the extent where we develop these muscles. And I just thought to share with you this message that I'm sort of tuning into, that humanity must prepare itself for this roller coaster ride, and we must train ourselves to do this. I don't know what information will help you, but what is helping me certainly is that one skill that I've taught in the past, and what I've learned to teach is to how to get in touch with your own emotions. And feeling will be the most important skill, I believe, that will save a lot of people from getting overwhelmed by these energies, because these are very taxing energies. Because I to be honest, I'm getting those dreams that I haven't really have gotten in my life, and so this is what, it's not only your subconscious, but if you read Carl Jung, and especially his red book, and so Carl Jung goes into this inner journey of understanding some signs and symbols that he could track from his own talking with his own unconscious. And those signs and symbols are not just personal, they are universal, and you can find them in mythology and etc. etc. So now I'm getting these answers, that why I'm getting those things and why I wasn't in the past. I was a happy academic teaching graduate students, medical students in a prestigious university of Pakistan. And suddenly this transformation came, and as I'm reflecting, I feel that no wonder that I did that. I left the city I was living. I left my parents' house, and I quit the job that I was doing, which was paying me quite handsome salary. And so we are all on an evolutionary path, and so I would like to share more as I get into this. But this is what I thought that I should say and spread the word out. So see you.